Hey Stuart, Heidi,
Yes.
can you speak about like fulfillment, satiation, that sense of gratitude and fullness?
Can you repeat that?
Can you speak about like this fullness, satiation of gratitude and just to be like full of love?
Well, yeah, I can. A couple of those things can really help your spiritual growth. Gratitude and just remembering how you were, a month ago and how much your life has changed, and how much you have changed inside yourself. When you get full and you get satiated, especially satiated, you understand? It often becomes enough. You understand? One is no longer hungry to open to the infinite energy in the universe and the possibilities of life that that energy brings with it. We satisfy ourselves. And I think satisfaction should be one of the eight deadly sins. Because once we get satisfied, the only thing that grows is our rear end. We have no longer that hunger inside. That hunger often scares people because, no matter how much you grow, yes, it's never enough because God's energy, the energy of spirit, is infinite in the universe. And each step you take on that pathway to infinity, understand, teaches you something remarkable about yourself and about your life, gives you another sense of wisdom, knowledge, real knowledge, not intellectual knowledge, textbook knowledge, but real knowledge that enables one to distinguish between, what's real in the world and what's an illusion. All of this stuff, is part of that need inside a human being to truly become one with higher energy in the universe. And that part of us that never expects to be perfect because God is perfect. The rest of us are really imperfect beings struggling to get closer to that perfection because the closer and closer we get to that perfection, the closer we get to a state of spiritual enlightenment, freedom from karma, freedom from having to reincarnate here, lifetime after lifetime, to go through all the pain, the difficulty, the suffering, and finally extricate ourselves from all of this by truly embracing what is infinite in the universe. That infinity brings knowledge, it brings wisdom, clarity, it brings inner peace, it brings a human being who truly can live here with an open heart, with compassion, with love, all of the things that we really hunger for in life. And as soon as we feel satisfied, honestly, those things begin to disappear. So, there's nothing wrong with leveling off as long as you recognize that when you level off, it's just another step on a ladder that gets you closer to your spiritual enlightenment. And then there's the process of surrender, letting go, opening to a much deeper, more profound level of energy in yourself. And frankly, all of this is inside each and every one of us. And the only thing that limits it is that thing in us that says, I can't do it. Enough. I'm satisfied. I've had enough of, the transformation, the growth, the changes, the real creative flow of energy that becomes palpable in one's life. So there's, gratitude is an extraordinary step on the ladder. But you don't have to be satisfied in order to be grateful. You just have to have an open heart. that says thank you for what has been given to me, the food I eat, the people I interact with, the clothing I wear, you know, whatever we do is a gift and we need to be grateful for it. I remember once I heard a song by that group, the Rolling Stones, I can't get no satisfaction. Well, I don't think they were singing about a spiritual life, but I do think that whole idea that I can't really become a satisfied human being, I need to be able to deal with the transformations that take place in me, the growth that takes place in me, the new levels that manifest in my life. And I have to build an inner strength that doesn't allow the newness of life to throw me off balance. I hope it's clear, for all of you because I've had to live with this even before I met Rudy. The one thing that scared me more than anything in the world was mediocrity. When I was 16 years old, I was afraid of mediocrity. And I said, Stuart, you cannot succumb to that. You have to find a way to grow and continue to extricate yourself from that level of living, no matter what it costs you. And how do you extricate yourself from that? By learning how to keep your heart open, by learning how to love the people in your life, have compassion, and having the strength inside yourself to be in the world completely and totally, consciously in the world, and to be free of it exactly the same time. Does anyone else have a question?
Can you talk more about being free of it?
Huh?
World. Can you talk more about being free of it? World.
I didn't understand your question, Nina.
Can you speak more of being free of it, free of the world?
How do you get free of the world? I'll tell you how you get free of the world. Get free of yourself. Because all of the energy that you need to get free of the Maya, the illusion, all this madness that goes on in life, it exists inside you. And the reason why the Maya, the karma, the all controls you is because you're not free of those obstructions and the blocks that exist inside yourself. Once you get free of yourself, you will be free of the illusion in the world. That's how you get free. Once you are connected consciously to higher energy in the universe, and you become a vehicle through which that energy can flow through you and become a practical way of you creating your life, you will be free in the world. So the answer is not out there, it's inside. It's inside each and every one of us. And our job here is to learn how to get free of who we think we are, our right, wrong, our opinions, or this, or everything that creates so much tension in life that it really keeps us prisoner of the one person who really is the jailer, and that's ourselves. And all the universe wants is Hey, step outside of yourself. Open. Become a child of God. Let that higher energy guide your life. So how do you get free of your free of how do you get free? Get free of yourself. I couldn't think of a quicker way. And yet it takes lifetimes to do what I'm talking about. We are very complicated.
Stuart,
Yes.
when you're dealing with those blocks in ourselves and we're stuck, do you ever reach out directly and ask your teachers or the cosmos, like, say, I'm stuck, I need
Yeah.
guidance in that way?
Yeah. Look, my response. I'll tell you, Larry. My responsibilities are getting bigger. You understand? There are more people that are coming to class. There's, and I keep going up to Swami Nityananda, Swamiji, give me the strength to deal with my life. Give me the strength. Now, I don't go to Washington, D.C. to find him sitting in the Supreme Court. I go inside myself, where he is very much alive, and connects me to infinite energy in the universe. And I ask him, and I've been asking him give me the strength to deal with what's happening in my life. That strength you can't get at the Supreme Court. This is all bullshit. But you can get it inside yourself. You are connected to teachers that exist in the cosmos that will do everything possible to help you grow. Rudy, Nityananda, I don't know, maybe other teachers that you have that are in the cosmos that will come and do everything possible to help you to grow. You have to ask them. And I'm telling you, every class I go, Swamiji, give me the strength to deal with what is happening in my life. Because I don't know with this book, I don't know what's going to come in 2 weeks, you know? And I'm asking over and over again. And then it's so interesting. I sitting here teaching, and he's teaching the class. Swami Nityananda comes down, is teaching the class. And you, as a person who wants a spiritual life, have every right in the world to do what I'm talking about. And they say in the Bible, ask and you will receive, You got to ask. And you go inside. And I say, it's not in Washington, D.C., it's not with the Congress, it's not all these lunatics that make the world crazy. It's in yourself where these remarkable teachers live. And they can come and give you what you need to have the strength to do your life and to build your life.
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes.
In my imagination, um, I find it daunting that I don't have the same connection to Nityananda and to Rudy as you do. And is that how do I work with that?
Well, Bob, my connection with Rudy and Nityananda is not in my imagination. It's a real connection. They are living energies that exist inside me. They are energies in the cosmos. They are energies that if I ask, they come and they nurture me and they build me. This is not imagination. I know about imagination. I've written short stories, I've written novels. I mean, that a lot of imagination. This is real. Comes from a need inside me to truly be a servant of God in the world and going to the place I have to go to get the energy to do it. So
So
there's
the portal, the portal is the need. Is that correct?
absolutely the need. That is the portal. I learned that years ago in Denton, Texas, Bob, when I went to the bank and I asked them for a certain amount of money to build our house, and the bank offered me half. And they did. And I wound up, I right there went to Rudy and he said, do it. And I took the money, and the way that house got built, Bob, honestly, was me going to Rudy, Nityananda, and a host of teachers and to get the energy to make that thing happen. That's how it got built. Otherwise, oh my God, I learned this years ago, but I used to do it because I would throw myself into these huge, like the economic Pacific Ocean, and I had to swim for shore. And I didn't know, and I had to go up to get the energy to make my life work. That taught me how to do, go, please, Swamiji, give me the strength to deal with my life. And this is not about money, it's about people and serving God. I mean, I had so many experiences like that in my life, just throwing myself into the impossible and going to a higher level to get the energy to do it. And it never failed. It always worked itself out. My need to grow transcended my need to mess around in an imaginary world or, the need was to make the spiritual energy palpable as a living force in my daily life. How else did I, all these ashrams I've run and that house I lived in Woodstock, and all that stuff I've done in my life, traveling all over the world. I was like a freaking octopus. All the stuff I had going on in my life. And the only thing that made it possible was going to Rudy, Nityananda, the teachers I have in the cosmos.
I have another question.
Yes.
So how do you establish or how do you vet what you're asking for is in service to God?
Bob, I don't have any expectations, and the universe sends me answers. I don't vet it. I don't have any expectations about the way this is going to manifest. I just say, okay, I need energy to grow. That energy comes, and my job is to use it consciously. My job was to use that energy to build that house we lived in Texas. I mean, people were living in that Victorian house. There were 5 people in a room. So we needed a place for everybody. My energy was to how it came. I can't even remember how it came, but it came. It finally came. The house got finished. So I don't know. I don't have expectation. I don't know what's going to happen in a week. As I say, I have this book out there now. I don't know what people are reading it. They're not reading it. What's going on with? But it could suddenly flood me with students all over the world. I have to be ready for that if that manifests. remember I said to Rudy, I'll never, he was suddenly getting very popular, Rudy, right towards the end of his life. He was getting people were starting to, ashrams all over the country. In Paris, there was one. And I said, Rudy, he was talking, there might be 1,000 people that'll come. I said, well, Rudy, how are you going to do this? He said, Stuart, I have to be able to take every single one of them into my heart. That's what he told me. It's the only way I could do it. So I don't have any expectations. I don't know what tomorrow is going to, I don't know what 10 minutes are going to bring. I mean, I got an email from a friend of mine who's in China right now, and she got a notice about my books. She used to be a very close friend of mine years ago, and her daughter is running some kind of a situation, and she got her daughter to get in touch with me, and who knows what's going to happen. It's a kind of spiritual situation they run, chakra aura therapy, and stuff comes. And my job is to take it a step at a time and to consciously see what works, what doesn't work, what really fits into what we do here. And I do this without expectation because I've learned in my life, don't expect because it never comes. You want this and you get that. Well, make that work. You know, don't get disappointed. Make what they send you work. Phew. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And the ultimate thing you got to make work finished with this. Open your heart and learn to like yourself, to love yourself, your self-worth. Learn to be a child of God, have compassion for people, find joy and happiness in life. That's the answer to everything. It's just the answer to everything. So I remember after building that house in Denton, I'll never forget, I've done, I got to go back to New York. I mean, it didn't create profound happiness inside me. I still needed to go to New York to work out karma. And the only way is you finally get to a place where the heart stays open. There's love. So you work out karma. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, thank you. Great questions today. Thank you. God bless you all. And there'll be meditation on Sunday. There'll be a class tonight that Jennifer will teach. And God bless you all. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Fill it with joy and love. So I'm telling you, it's the only answer. It's the only answer. God bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
Have a
welcome.
great weekend.